everybody. It's me, Steve Schnie, and you are watching the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm not going to talk about CDs in particular. I'm going to be talking about a subject that seems to be going around and around and around all over the internet, all over the tubes of you. And that is the subject of rock is dead. And I'm here to agree that rock is not dead. I completely disagree with them, but I agree with the fact that rock is not dead. Now, if you have a specific genre in mind or specific musicians or bands in mind, then maybe so. You can say rock is dead if you are a big Black Sabbath fan because of the unfortunate recent passing of Ozzy Osbourne, or, any recent passings. Those artists are dead. The music lives on, of course, but that's not really what I'm going to approach, because there are a lot of great rock bands out there. But what do you define as rock? I mean, heavy guitars and do you need melodies? Because I listen to a lot of great heavy music, and I'm going to have a little series here. This episode, I'm going to feature about 5 bands. I'm just going to show you 5 bands that really do prove that rock is not dead. The recent reunion of Oasis proves that rock is not dead. Sure, they may not have been around for 16 years, but people have been listening to that kind of music ever since. I mean, what about all the other great artists that are out there that you may not hear on Sirius FM station or your AM radio station, however you get your music? There's a lot of people that don't get their music from anywhere. They stop at a certain point and they go, okay, 1977, I don't listen to anything after that. Or 1968, I don't listen to anything after that. Well, unfortunately, that is a bad move, because so much great music is created. But I don't fault you either. I have certain periods of music that I love. For my Ski Lodge show, I love the soft pop and stuff of the late 60s, early 70s. And I'm especially fond. My favorite genre of music is basically 77 to about 85. That whole new wave, punk, power pop, synth pop, whatever you want to call it. That's an era that I love. But then there's so many great bands. There have been power pop resurgences every few years, especially like in Sweden in the 90s. But then there's been a lot of heavy rock bands that have come out. There's been, the Cookie Monster type vocals, and those are very, very popular. I'm not going to feature any of that type of music here. And there's, when you say rock is dead, are you referring to a certain look? Even, the guys with the long hair and, the leather wristbands or the headbands. Is that what you're thinking that rock is? Is rock just an image? Is rock just you might just be taking a small piece of the pie when you say rock is dead, but there's a whole pie to enjoy. At least everyone else can enjoy it. I understand how people can feel despondent or sad or disappointed that their certain slice of music is disappearing. All the old classic bands, the Zeppelins and the Deep Purples and all these bands are they're softening their sound. They're getting old. They're in their late 70s and early 80s. They can't play that kind of music anymore, no matter how much they want to. Maybe if they have, take their hearing aids out and, get motorized scooters for the stage. That's just life. Life gets in the way. But there's all those old records for them to enjoy. Maybe you like the 80s P-Noodlers. And the P-Noodlers are those, let's say, now I really like this music. The Yngwie Malmsteens and guys like that who, and I call them P-Noodlers because it's like they're noodling up and down the fretboard because they really have to pee. And, if I get this done quick, I can go pee real fast. That's why I call them P-Noodlers. That's great music too. It's just a goofy little nickname I threw on it. But, so is that what, are you missing the P-Noodlers? It's okay. Are you missing, we all grow up loving certain styles of music. And when those styles disappear, we feel like a part of us is disappearing. And I'm here to tell you that there's still a lot of great, heavy melodic rock being made. Bands that could always be called rock. Some of them might be power pop, but they're rock first. See, power pop is a term that sometimes is thrown on a band afterwards. Sometimes a band doesn't want to be power pop, but they're lumped in with power pop. So I'm not going to focus on bands that are strictly power pop. I'm going to focus on bands that are just, nice, just great, loud, even distorted guitars and chug-a-lugs and, all this great stuff. And instead of just explaining certain bands, I decided what I'm going to do is I made little medleys that last about 1 minute that features just a couple songs from each of these bands, just to show you that there are bands out there creating the kind of music that we've all loved throughout the years. Maybe some of us more than others, but it contains all the great elements, the great guitar riffs, the great soaring choruses, the great vocalists, maybe not the the Ronnie James Dio type, falsetto screaming type vocals, or the Rob Halford or Bruce Dickinson, nothing like that. But there are plenty of bands. Check out the label called Frontiers. They are probably one of the greatest labels out there that presents that melodic rock or melodic hard rock, AOR type stuff, with the P-Noodlers and the soaring vocals. I don't think they have too much of the Cookie Monster vocals, but lots of great stuff. So check out that label, go find their website and check out some of the stuff. They have bands that are totally influenced by Whitesnake and Journey and stuff, and they sound great. I've got stacks of the stuff. I haven't bought anything off that label in probably at least a decade because, unfortunately, I've been buying whatever else. Sometimes you have to decide, I'm going to go over here and buy this instead of that. But one day, Frontiers is a quality label if you love that type of rock. And it's not dying. These bands still keep coming. They keep coming, But the stuff I'm going to focus on are the more melodic ones, the ones with great hooks, great choruses, great guitar riffs, like I said. We're going to start off with a band called the Feel All Rights. They are from Australia. Actually, the guitar player, maybe even the leader of the band, I don't really want to call him the leader, but he's the most well-known of the members. His name is Nick Sheppard. Now, some people may go, hey, that's the guy that was in the Clash during the Cut the Crap era. And yeah, it is that guy. But I don't even know if he's on the Cut the Crap album. And I'm not going to give him any crap for that because he was in the Cortinas before the Clash. And I love the Cortinas. Their single Heartache is one of my favorites of the era, period. But this is completely different than the Cortinas, completely different than Cut the Crap. It's just great, rootsy rock and roll. He's now based in Australia. And he got together with 3 other Australian musicians. And they knocked out a great album on 0 Hour Records. And here's a little bit of that album for you.
So please forget about me. I said please forget about me. Forget about me. You're off the hip. You wanna quit? Whatever it is. You're off the hip now, baby. You're off the hip. You're off the hip now, baby. You're off the hip. Let's celebrate. Keep thinking about the money you made. Let's celebrate.
The next band is basically the band that inspired me to do this show here, this little new series, is a band called the Peppermint Kicks, featuring Sal Baglio from the Stompers and Amplifier Heads, and Dan Kopka, who's been involved in a bunch of projects. These two guys together have released a brand new album on Rum Bar Records called Pop Rocks in My Chewing Gum, and it is just a solid kick in the gut, a punch in the face, and a hug and a warm embrace. These guys are amazing. The Peppermint Kicks, just powerful, punchy. It's garage rock, it's power pop, it's rock and roll. It is rock. It is proof that rock is not dead. And here's a little bit of the Peppermint Kicks.
Calling America. Calling Radio London Town. Calling all cars. Calling, turn up your radio. Too sweet. Oh yeah. Honey, honey. Alright. Come on. Don't wait. Hurry, hurry. Tonight. Excitation's on my tongue. Pop rocks in my chewing gum. Cherry flavor, say yum yum. Too sweet. Oh yeah. Ooh, you'll never forget me. Ooh, I told you 3 times, should've never let me out of the trash can and into your heart. Out of the trash can and into your heart. I was out working for the KGB. While you
The next band I'm going to talk about is one of my favorite modern bands, period. They just put out a new album on the Big Stir Records label. The band's name is Splitsville, and it's their first album in like 18 years or something. And it is just pure, full of greatness. You got Brant Huseman, Matt Huseman, Paul Kruziak, and Tony Waddy. And this new album is fantastic, and it is on Big Stir, like I said. These guys just have this wall of guitars, but they also have a wall of harmonies. They write great hooks, and it's so great to have them back with brand new music. This proves that rock is not dead. This is Splitsville with a few tracks from their new album.
Aimed at the port, where for secessionist and slaver, building boats the freedmen labored. Now it's cyclist, tourist, jurist, break the court. First, middle, last, or never. What's past is past forever.
This next band is another band that's going to prove that rock is not dead. It's a band called the Airport 77s. They have a brand new album out on Gem Records. Their new bass player is one of my favorite songwriters of the early 80s. It's a gentleman by the name of Cal Everett, and he was in a band called 4 out of 5 Doctors. Love this guy. He is now a member of the Airport 77s. I mean, look, the Airport 77s were a great band to begin with. Now with Cal Everett, it's double lovin', as the Osmonds would say. And their new album, like I said, is on Gem Records called Don't Let Go. And here's just a little sample of the Airport 77s.
Take me back to the nights that I never forgot. Cigarettes crushed in a parking lot. Singing along with the pop radio. Baby, one more time. Take me back before it all fell apart. Cigarettes crushed on an open heart. Take me back to 1999. What's this tingling in my fingertips? What's this poison dripping off my lips? What's this message written in the stars above? It tells me it don't matter if I don't get what I'm after. What's this
Next band I want to talk about, it's going to prove that rock is not dead. This is a band called the Midnight Callers. They don't have a new album out, but they do have 2 albums. They are on Gem Records. They're working on a new album. This is just great rock and roll. I know I talk a lot about power pop, but what power pop is, if you just really just want to lay it out, it's just rock and roll with great hooks. And that describes the bands I've played before, and it describes the Midnight Callers. Here's just a sample of their Rattled Humming Heart album that is now out on Gem Records.
He was a New York tramp and I love the man, it's true. He was the baddest soul this town ever had, I tell you. I see you walking alone in the cold at night, searching for some kind of truth. Tell me why do you have to go so soon? Didn't feel it, didn't feel it. Oh, I never thought I'd write the words. I'm writing so at least they'll hurt. Didn't feel it, didn't feel it. Oh, I pray to God I never show. What I would do was lost control. Oh, Jackie, this old town has got me down enough to see that I can't believe the life you made me want enough to keep. Oh, Jackie, good enough is getting tough enough for me. This rattled humming heart won't let me give all of the beat. Oh, now do it again. And I don't wanna be kin. Now do it again.
Finally, for this episode of Rock is Not Dead, I decided to call it that. Right now, I decided to call this episode, this show, Rock is Not Dead. This is a gentleman who has put out albums for 40 years, and he's still just as good, if not better, than he was 40 years ago. An incredible talent. He used to front a band called The Icicle Works, and every album he puts out, it has this sound that is unique to him, but it is also a sound that can be accepted and loved by music fans of all generations. His name is Ian McNabb, and at this moment, as I speak, he is currently on tour in the U.S. with the Lost 80s Live tour, and he's performing songs by Icicle Works, and I recommend you check out Ian McNabb solo stuff. You can go to ianmcnabb.com. He's got a great new album called If It Wasn't for the Music. Now, Ian is one of these guys. He can strap on a guitar and he can rock out. In fact, one of his albums, 2 of his albums, feature him backed by Crazy Horse. Which, man, they just fits into his style. But he's got hooks, and he's a great guitar player. He's a great songwriter. He's absolutely one of my favorite artists of all time. And here's just a little sample of the music of Ian McNabb. Definitely check him out. He's an independent artist, so you need to go to ianmcnabb.com and buy anything you can, because he is truly incredible. Yeah, Ian McNabb.
You're the first in line on every ride, and you don't pay no admission, but you must be prepared to dream. Medicated Anna, she never felt better, gonna float away on a cloud today. Medicated Anna, bottle of a tenor, and she will never
And that's it. I hope that I've proved a little bit that rock is not dead. And I understand why all those other websites want to say that rock is dead, because it brings in views, right? Of course, I always come up with subjects that won't bring in views. I'm going to come up with the happy side. Hey, rock is not dead. Then the sun is shining, right? You know, I'm the anti-goth channel. That sure doesn't attract viewers, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here just to talk about the wondrous, wonderful sounds of great music, whether it's power pop, synth pop, easy listening, whatever. I love it all, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell for future notifications, and until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.